So today we're talking about awareness, which is the key to making progress in your life. Awareness is the birthplace of possibility. Everything you want to do, everything you want to be starts here. That's from Deepak Chopra. And it really is true. And this is why this is one of those pillars of this program, because if you're oblivious to things that are going on in your life and you are not super aware of things that you need to be focused on, then you are going to have stress and anxiety and you're going to be out of balance. So I hope today I'm just giving an overview of some major topics that I think, and Jeff as well, are important for you to have awareness of these main key concepts. So it's a while with along Jeff to figure out which topics to cover. There are a lot more after doing research and just drilling deep, but these are the 6 that really fit a student athlete really well to make sure they understand where they are and who they are and their surroundings. So let's start off with gratitude. I really believe that gratitude is the first step when you wake up. And you've seen this picture here. You have the telescope and the coffee and the pen, and that was by design. When you wake up, you should be focused on an attitude of gratitude. And practicing gratitude each day allows your heart to be open with love towards others and to yourself. And having that connection with God, it's so important to do that. It also improves your mental health. Research has shown that those who have gratitude every day are less likely to have anger, stress, and anxiety. If that's the case, which it is, look at number 3. Your relationships will be much more positive, and that is a key component to living a fulfilled life on your team, with your family, in the future as well. And lastly, it promotes a positive outlook for the day, for the week, for everything you have scheduled. So starting with an attitude of gratitude is where you should begin each day. Number 2 is values. You have to be aware of your values. Simple definition, it's just principles or standards of behavior that guide your action and decisions. They represent what is important to you as an individual and include your beliefs about what is right and wrong, as well as what's significant in your life. This is like the moral compass. I call it the foundation of who you are. And here's some things that I put on here. It looks so much better with pictures. So some of mine are my faith, which is yours as well, your family, trusting God, trusting others, being honest, being truthful, traveling, being fit. These are all values that I have. And it's so important that we as individuals know our values, because if it is your mission in life to be married, your values have to be aligned with that other person. They have to be. And I had to learn that personally. So number 3, your personality, which is different than your values. Your personality is just one example. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? And knowing your personality is very important because it allows you to know how to navigate through those communication channels with your teammates, with your friends, or maybe you have a part-time job. It's very important to know your personality. Another thing too is it makes you more tolerant for others. The one thing is that sometimes we have to understand that everyone's not like us. So my personality is different than your personality. Again, from speaking of my own relationship with my wife, our personalities are totally different. I'm very extroverted. She's very introverted. But that doesn't mean we don't love each other. It's just that we know our differences in our personality, but our values are the same. That's the key ingredient to understand that. So at work, again, working with your team, knowing your personality. An example is a leader doesn't have to be, their personality has to be extroverted. They're the ones communicating. Their gift, let's say, is oral communication with others. Another person could just lead by example, very humble, the one who just gets the job done, punches the clock, and they get it there early, stay late. There's different ways of what you feel confident in your own skin with your personality. And the last thing is it's a best fit for your major in college, knowing your personality, what you enjoy based on what you are comfortable with and who you are, and also later as a career choice. Aware of your wellness. So obviously we have a physical part, setting and achieving fitness goals. We'll go into that a little deeper later, but just being aware of what you need to have happen to feel fulfilled in your goals for your dedicated sport. Again, developing healthy habits and maintaining high standards. It's so important to have your standards of what you do each day for your wellness, diet, hydration, could be cardiovascular, muscular work that you're doing, and making sure that you're hitting those standards every day. Then you have goals of what you want to hit in regards to your sport specifically. So let's say you're baseball, an ERA if you're a pitcher. Let's say you are basketball, maybe your shooting percentage. So all these things matter of your standards and your goals. And lastly is consistency in fitness routine and support to play at an optimal level. So a lot of these parts go in aware all together for an awareness of maintaining balance for your mental state as well as your physical, and making sure that you know that you have to have things consistently and habitually the same for you so that you have that balance and don't feel overwhelmed or you feel like you're not cutting yourself short in achieving your goals. So consistency of your habits for your wellness and diet are very important. So awareness of emotional intelligence. The definition is just to control and express one's emotions and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. So why is this important as a student athlete? Yeah, it's very important to have good communication skills. Teams that communicate well, from your coach and coaches to the staff to players, much more likely to have success. Look at any organization that does well. I'm thinking of Nick Saban right now with Alabama for so many years, and hearing his speeches and how he's very micro focused on how to be the best at your position. And he communicates that well with his staff to the players. Another thing too that emotional intelligence is conflict resolution. It allows you to handle yourself better and know when you're getting to a frustrated point. Instead of blowing up, you reserve yourself. You maybe walk away from the situation, come back when you're lowered from that temper. So it's, again, a critical piece of having that intelligence of when to maybe step away from a conversation or something that's aggravating you. And just on top of that, too, is the enhanced self-regulation of your emotional intelligence. Very critical to regulate your emotions and to make sure that you're consistent with your character. And once you get out of line of what your character is, with your moral compass that you have, and treating everyone with love and respect, and you get out of those parameters, you need to, again, like I said, walk away, pause, and reflect, which we'll get to next, and making sure that you are becoming the individual that you want everyone to see you be, for your teammates, for your family, and for yourself. And lastly, just the mental well-being. The more emotional intelligence you have and being aware of that, and when you're, let's say, stressed, maybe you need to go for a walk. You need to use your cues of awareness to make sure you know what your triggers are and how you can get support for those. We'll talk about that at a deeper level as well, but these are just surface things for you to be understanding of, like, what makes me get out of whack in regards to your emotional intelligence, and how you could get back on the balance beam and making sure you're on that straight and narrow path. And as I said just earlier, is the pause and reflect really goes well with emotional intelligence. So if you are learning anything, we should all be lifelong learners, is we're reflecting on the experience, and that leads to deeper learning. So you're in class, you actually should reflect and pause for why you're learning this. What is it doing for me, and how is it helping me grow? And that's going to make such a deeper sense of learning whatever that subject is, or in your sport, of just being a master of your craft, adapting, being aware of analysis of your own results, and then adapting your plan as needed. So for you, let's say you're struggling in your sport and you say, I need to make a pivot here. I need to change something and adapt and grow to become the better player that I know I can be. It's something you have to be aware of. You can't just doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. And that's the definition of insanity. We want to change that pattern. And lastly is handling challenges. Help you handle life's challenges with greater skill. And I think, again, we go back to when you have a conflict with somebody, or you feel like you're getting flared up and triggered in regards to your emotions, the emotional intelligence piece, is knowing good strategies to just pause, maybe step away, and respond positively at the moment and later. And you will be much more respected once you know how to handle yourself better in the response moving forward, because you'll limit and hopefully eliminate all chances of blowing up or having bad behaviors exuded among your teammates and your family and all your friends. So I appreciate you. Jeff and I love that we're going through this together. Continue to learn, and we hope you can go at the deeper level with us, unlock more classes, because this is just surface level, making you really open and honestly have a good conversation about, for you, of what you need to be aware of so that you can be the best student athlete for your team today and for the future. God bless you.